Hey everybody, it's Free to Play Bust. Getting ready to start up expedition number 55. Let's see what we get going here. Okay. Interesting stuff. We don't get to draft Shen very frequently. Interesting, we got Shield Wall Shen. This is typically about trying to build challengers and getting your challengers barriers and stuff. If we're going to play Shen, he's one of these kind of positive champions to where he's just a good unit. Units with 4 and 5 health are pretty powerful, and so even if you aren't really building around Shen with this barrier theme, he's still a pretty good champion. His flip is kind of meh, but the thing I like about his flip is it costs 6, and so he for one part already pairs into Demacia, and this just kind of gives you access to another 6-cost spell to try to activate Mage Seekers with. But the rest of the pack is not too exciting. I don't really like Life Blade outside of Discipline. Discipline is the hand buff kind of strategy, but it's a Z pack. I just don't think this is too exciting as a 2/2, or it's not very exciting if you don't have ways to boost his attack. And Zephyr Sage is kind of one of the weaker pieces of top end. I find it kind of acceptable if you're in like a Hecarim kind of deck, just as another way to make copies of Hecarim, but it's not too exciting in Shen kind of decks, but it's okay. And over here, Scrap Heap Draven, this is the discard theme, paired with Jinx. This is okay. This is all around a pretty good set of aggressive cards. Typically, want a Brother's Bond in my deck, or we usually want 2, 3, 4 of these Trifarians in any Noxus deck I'm playing. All in all, this is pretty good. Scrap Heap's starting to grow on me a little bit more, and this is even okay if we don't pick up the Jinx half of this. And then also kind of in the similar vein as Shen, Draven just plays well on his own. He does typically play better with Piltover champions, in that even if we don't see Jinx next, we can still have access to cards like Rummage and Get Excited, and his Spinning Axes play pretty well to give you additional discard outlets. And then lastly over here we have a Callista pack. I'm not super excited about this. I haven't had very much success with Callista. She does play similarly to Draven and Shen, in that a 4/3 Fearsome for 3 is just a good deal. And typically if I'm drafting Callistas, it's because I just want to be in Shadow Isles. But also to that end, I haven't been having much success with the aggressive Shadow Isles decks anymore. The nerfs onto Shadow Isles have hit them pretty hard over the past 2 patches, but I am still typically pretty happy to be in Shadow Isles for control-y type decks, where we're just playing a real slow, grindy game with things like Grasp of the Undying and Vengeances and Withering Wails. That side of Shadow Isles has been pretty unaffected, and I think it's still pretty effective. But we don't draft Shen too frequently just because he doesn't show up too frequently, so I think we're going to take the Shen and see if we can't get something going with him. Okay. Interesting things. So the Karma is okay. I don't draft Karma frequently either, but this is along the lines of what we want to be happening with our elusives, like the Lifeblade, just having a pack with an elusive and with a Greenglade Elder. I typically do prefer these packs to have Zeds in them instead of like Shen and Karma. The issue with these elusives with Shen is your elusives typically don't need barrier because they're not getting blocked. And it just, I want Shen to be an attacky kind of deck, and these lead to more kind of slower, grindy decks. But it's an option. Here's what I was talking about earlier, and what we're pretty excited about is these Lux packs. If we take Lux, we're just going to run into trying to have 3 Luxes. And you can't really take advantage of his flip, if you don't have anything to flip with him. But this is a pretty outstanding pack, and down here I think Braum is probably the worst champion in the game. If this was pack 1, we would have kind of more options with it, because when you have access to Iceborne Legacy right from the get-go, you can kind of look to draft spiders, or you can look to draft the Piltover cards that make 1/1s, just to kind of give you really, this is a build around card and you want to be building around it from the get-go, but I don't think Iceborne Legacy plays particularly well in Freylord. I don't think it plays particularly well in Ionia. So here, for the most part, I would recommend just taking this Lux. But I just 7-wind this like 3 or 4 runs ago, and so we've kind of explored this pretty well. This if we're just trying to immediately run for 7 wins, I think this Lux is pretty good. This is the one I would recommend if you're just here for the get-go, but we're trying to be a little more informational here, and so I think I'm going to take this this Total Recall Karma and see if we can't get into some kind of elusives deck or some kind of Karma deck. See what we can do here. We are looking to be we can be full Ionia here and perhaps look into being some kind of Kinku Wayfinder deck, which would lend to itself to playing a little bit better with Shen. But we should have some options here. We still have the ability to branch out into either. This should give us a lot of Piltover from the Karma. That was Total Recall Karma. Should give us a lot of Demacia from the Shen because of Shield Wall. And so we'll see what we'll kind of end up in here. Immediately, this is the guy I'm talking about. It's Kinku Wayfinder. I love trying to build around this thing. And then I immediately saw the Greenglade Caretaker, and it's like, these guys play okay together. It's not the worst thing that could happen. Scaled Snapper plays reasonably well with Shen as well. The idea being they can make him a 5/2 and just keep giving it barriers. But down here, this is what I'm mostly interested in, is this Relentless Pursuit. I'm not real big on Mobilize, but we can probably make it work. It does work out well with things like Shadow Assassin. Things you're just trying to play for value, like Zephyr Shade, Shadow Assassin. I think it could be okay here, but I'm mostly interested in this Relentless Pursuit. Let's see if we can't get some kind of standalone kind of theme going on. See if we can't pick up any Selfless Monks and maybe some standalones. That theme of deck does play a bit better if we have access to things like Fiora or Lucian. We can perhaps pick up one later. I'm not a huge fan of 3 champion decks, but this is a world where this could be okay. And maybe just have 2 Fioras instead of the 3 that we would really want. But that's the idea we'll start with here. Just this Relentless Pursuit in general should be playing pretty well with elusives. And so we'll see what we can get moving along those lines. And it looks like we're doing it. With the Mobilize and Relentless Pursuit. Let's keep doing it. We'll take these 2. We really don't need any more of this kind of card. I don't really like having more than 2 Relentless Pursuits. I really just kind of want 1. But we'll see how all in we're able to get at that theme. Okay. So to continue it on, like, this is the idea I think we're really going to be building towards. Is we're not going to be trying to mobilize on 2, and so that should play pretty well with Greenglade Elder and Shadow Assassins. I don't want any more mobilizes. We aren't really big into Vanguard Cavalry here. If this was Radiant Guardian, I'm always considering Radiant Guardian. I think he's just pretty much, or she's the best of the top end you can have. And the other problem we're running into here is our curve's getting pretty nasty. We're going to need to look for some cheap stuff along the way. There's some cheap stuff. I do love me a Kato and a Legion Rearguard. These are some of my favorite cards. I think we might end up taking these. I don't really want to branch out into Nox and Might, but this is just really what we're looking to do here. Good supports with Shen and Kato. We can live in our magical Christmas land where we attack with Shen and protect Kato. Kato hit some kind of elusive or something and just get in for bonkers damage. I think that's pushing it a little hard. I think I really just want to kind of focus on these elusives here. Brightsteel Protector's okay. Just, sometimes when you just need a unit to play early, he fits in just fine. So cool. Yeah, let's give that a go. Here's the Solitary Monk we were talking about. Not a huge fan of Navori Highwayman. I think this card's just garbage. But it can kind of fit in the role of just stalling the game early. I'm not a real huge fan of just trying to build around a Highwayman. I haven't had much success with making these. I mean, I have successfully made these 3/4s and 4/5s. I just don't think it played out particularly well. So it's going to be down if we want this monk and this highwayman or the single combat and the Silverwing Scout. I think I am, I just did talk a lot of shit about the highwayman, but I think I am really wanting to kind of build towards these solitary monks. So let's pick him up. The good old Kinku Wayfinder. We can do it. I don't think I think we're kind of just too far away from that. We don't have any 1-drops yet. But we are okay with Yusari and Sparring Student. I think Sparring Student is one of the kind of premier 1-drops. I don't think it's as good as the Legion Rearguard, but he's definitely a top 3 to top 5 1-drop. So we're cool with having him. We definitely want at least one Yusari in our deck. So I think this will pan out okay. Okay. These are a bit awkward, but this will be fine. I don't like recall. I think this is it. There's definitely worse, but if I'm taking recall, I really want some strong top end here. If this was like Mina, or something that's just really good, epic level top end, if we were seeing like a Mina or a Bright Steel formation or something, I would be okay with taking recall. Greenglade Elder is nowhere near that tier of good. And so these Laurent Blade Keepers should play pretty well in our deck. They work extremely well with elusives. It's kind of a different way to make like Kinku Life Blades not suck, and so I'm pretty okay with that. And when it comes down to these cards, I'm going to want the single combat here over Vanguard Cavalry. Vanguard Cavalry is pretty good, but it's pretty replaceable. Oh, there's Mina. She's just incredibly powerful. I'm gonna be looking to take her. Emerald Awakener is okay. I preferred him to be in more slow, grindy kind of Karma decks, but we're not upset about it. There's definitely worse units we could have. These are okay. We would be okay with Succession. This is typically, if you don't play anything on 1, which our deck has a real hard time doing, this is just a pretty great card to be playing on 2. It just clogs up the board so well, but we don't want anything to do with Vanguard Squire. And we're not going to have stuns and recalls to make this Blade Twirler any good. So let's go ahead and pick up Mina here. Okay. Interesting stuff. This is kind of the same problem. We're kind of okay with the Blade Twirler. If you just get 1 boost on it, it's fine. We're just not a deck that's going to be closing out games with this. We aren't a Yasuo deck. And Shadow Shift I'm just not a huge fan of. It's okay, but I think this is a C at best. And so looking at these others, I'm kind of interested in Redoubled Valor and Prismatic Barrier. We're lacking on combat tricks. Prismatic Barrier, clearly plays well with Shen, and I think this is just one of the premier combat tricks in the game. Redoubled Valor I have had quite a bit of success with, typically just with Radiant Guardians. But this will also play extremely well with, Solitary Monk, or, say we've managed to give, what's it called, Kinku Lifeblade, +1/+1, making this a 6/6 is pretty beefy. So I think we can get good work out of this set of cards. We don't want any more Relentless Pursuits. So this is okay. Cool, this is a pretty good pack. This is everything we're looking to have happen here. We definitely need some early game, which we'll get an Inspired Mentor. Jolt Protector is just an excellent piece of top end. Just getting 14 stats of 5 mana and being able to put that +3/+3 on, things like Yusari and most commonly Kinku Lifeblade. All in all, just pretty powerful. I don't really want any of these. They're okay. I don't like Ritual of Renewal that much. If you think of a game like Magic, this card would be garbage. But I found that in Runeterra that your life total seems to go down in such huge chunks. The ritual, the healing from ritual is actually just more important than it would be in a game like Magic or a game like Hearthstone. Down here, this is okay top end, but not what we're looking to do. Okay. So again, not interested in this. If it, like I said before, if it's like Recall with Mina, we'd be interested. These cards are just too bottom tier to be interested in. These are pretty okay. Laurent Protege is one of the premier 3-drops. I'd be more interested in it if we had seen any standalones. this does a great job as just kind of a build your own Fiora. Like we aren't we wouldn't, if this isn't a Fiora deck, but if you're kind of in the spot to where you're building around Fiora but don't really have all the cards, you still are okay with things like standalone in your deck, and Laurent Protege plays pretty well with them. If we'd had 1 or 2 standalones, I'd be super excited about this, along with the Riposte as well. Riposte is just a pretty good combat trick. But I'm trying to think if how much use we can get out of this Vanguard Sergeant. We haven't seen, we've started out kind of wanting to be in elusives, but it hasn't really came together. We just have the 2 Shadow Assassins, the 1 Solitary Monk, 1 Yasari, and 1, well, I guess we have 6. That's not as much as I would like, but this 4 Demacia is just extremely powerful, especially when it comes along with an able-bodied unit. What's the rest of our top end look like? I think we can actually take this. My thing here is we're a little bit low on interaction, and so I kind of think I do want to just go ahead and take the Protege, see if we can't at least come along more of the cards to make this Relentless Pursuit type deck we were trying to get together. Oh, here's a Detain. We have to take this. We just have to have a way to interact with our opponents, and this is just kind of the premier way to do it. And along with one of these great 1-mana combat tricks, this is just everything we're looking for here. So, okay. So interesting things. I'm not real high on Mobilize. I'm pretty okay with trading it out for Laurent Duelist. We just don't really have a lot of units that can take advantage of the Duelist. I mean, we can force. You're really, wanting to force value attacks, and this is just going to be forcing trades in our deck. But I don't know. I think Mobilize could pan out to be okay in here. These are tough. We aren't really an Avori Blade Scout deck, and I do want to keep the Radiant Strike, so I'm not interested in doing this. Like, I don't like the Blade Scout if we're, we don't have like the cards that play well with us, right? We don't have any Navori Conspirators, we don't have any Kinku Wayfinders. It's just this guy's kind of deal 2 damage and hope it trades with something. I'm not too excited about him. This is kind of interesting. Just usually drawing 2 Relentless Pursuits is pretty bad, and so I typically only like playing 1. I prefer to be in a deck that has, like a bunch of Lucians in it, and then 1 Relentless Pursuit, so that we have access to more than 1 in our Lucian copies. But we might think we kind of need to stick with 2 since we don't actually have Lucian in our deck. I think I'm just going to skip this trade. I'm kind of interested in how these Mobilizes pan out in this kind of more mid-rangey, dirtily deck, to where we may or may not play something on the first turn, and then we can just Mobilize on the second, and then start playing, these Greenglade Elders cheaper. This is kind of one of the issues I've had with Greenglade Elder, is that, if you're playing it in a curve deck, then, you're playing a unit on 1 and 2, and then that's just kind of missing out with value on him. I'm kind of interested in how the Mobilizes pan out in this kind of Elder deck, so I'm just going to skip everything here and see how this goes. Okay, get to it. I'm having to check Instacart between each thing here. I'm not going hungry, don't worry about me, but I've been trying to order food today. All the food deliveries all clogged up, the curbside pickups all clogged up. Should have been a weekday problem that I didn't do. I ordered stuff during the week last week, and it was easier. But here, let's keep these 2 3s. We don't want Relentless Pursuits in our openers. But yeah, I'm certainly not going hungry, but I knew waiting until the weekend to order off Instacart was probably going to be a poor choice, but had no issues in the middle of the day last week.
Come closer.
Okay.
I don't bite.
So we can't actually block Elise, but we can keep that Spider off the board. We don't have any real combos that we want to bank this full 3 mana for. So I'm okay with just dropping a hit on this guy. At least try to keep him from getting width here. There's a good chance he's in Arachnophilia on both. Might be a Scrap Heap Draven, but whether it is or it isn't, he's going to have access to a lot of the spiders. And here, this is kind of important. We need to get this Green Glade Elder online so we can hook Elise with the Protege. We don't have any good attacks here, and that's okay.
Traditions are lost if not passed on. Anyone hurt?
Okay, that guy's going to be a bit annoying. But this is what we tend to find with these decks is we can at least sit around and just block in the early game a little bit. These aren't particularly good blocks, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and play Shadow Assassin here. I want to be able to block and kill his Legion Marauder, and then we're okay with just playing Protege next turn. Try to hook in this Elise. But ooh, he protects the Legion Marauder and then just doesn't attack with Elise. Is that what's happening here? Okay, I'm still okay with all this. So, make the easy blocks here. I think I want to go ahead and block his Legion Drummer, and then we can just go ahead and take 4. That's not ultra scary at this stage of the game. And then I want to get the damage on this so we can threaten to block and kill it when he attacks next turn. Okay, that turned out fine. And he shouldn't have access to combat tricks to keep us from hooking in this Marauder and killing it. He can, we're threatening a value attack on it, which he can get through with any host of Noxus and Shadow Isles combat tricks, but Noxus Shadow Isles doesn't have cards that boost toughness, so we're pretty guaranteed to win this attack. Okay. We don't need to be too aggressive here. We're probably just looking to play Jeweled Protector on his turn and then back up to 3 spell mana. But we are getting pretty close to where we'll kill him with Relentless Pursuits. Yep, that's okay.
I'm lost.
There's a big boomer. But yeah, I mean, if we're able to +3/+3 our Shadow Assassin, we could be getting in for 9. We should be able to get in for 18 next turn. If with 1 Relentless Pursuit, we'll have access to 2 of them.
I need just a moment.
So we're probably gonna. Well, we don't have to lose our Shadow Assassin here. We can Prismatic Barrier. I don't quite want to Prismatic Barrier. We'll have to see how this pans out. Because I would like to be able to Relentless Pursuit twice next turn, but this might be kind of a shit in one hand situation.
Ready.
Got some big old attacks coming in here though. These are extremely powerful combinations. The Drummer and the Glory Seeker. I talk about this a lot with my Relentless decks. If you end up in Katarina, this is what you're looking to do with Katarina. But at any rate, we're not really threatened to die here. He could have 2 Elixir of Wraths or a Brother's Bond, which would be scary. He can't play Might. Might would be the ultra scary one here, because we're going to be trying to just put 1 unit in front of this. But how does this look? If we block here and block here, leave this behind, we're going to take 6, 10, 11, which is a little scary. That dies to an Elixir of Wrath. I think I'm okay with just leaving this up, blocking here and here. So that's going to take us to 4. So now we would die to Brother's Bond. It just comes down to whether or not we want to, if we think we're going to need to play 2 Relentless Pursuits. With only 2 cards left, we're probably reasonably safe. So let's just do it like this. Block here, let's block here. Don't care if this dies. Prismatic Barrier you. And then we're looking to go to 7. Okay, that's pretty safe.
A final lesson.
So we will have problems with, say, like a Whirling Death or, oh, no, you can't Whirling Death because he's not going to have blockers. Don't care. So we should be in a pretty good spot. We'd lose if he has, say, like a Blade's Edge.
The order rewards its faithful.
I stand for
Sure.
Noxus.
I will play my part.
But yeah, this is good. He can't actually block, so he can't play cards like Whirling Death. If he had Vile Feast, he would have already played it. Okay, good deal. So let's see what we're looking for here. One of the things I'll talk about a lot is, you know, whether or not we want to go 2-2 with our champions, or if we want to have 3 champions as kind of a build around and then 1 as kind of a support. With this deck, I think it's just something we want to be in a 2-2. I'm actually even okay with just taking Fioras. We aren't doing a whole lot with our champions. Karma's flip is a turd. Shen's flip is okay, but not spectacular, and Fiora's flip is, you know, clearly very good. But I don't think we quite need to focus on either of these champions. It's just, you know, Karma's going to be kind of a value unit. We don't really have any of the spells that are good with Karma. Like, what are we going to be doubling here? Like, we can double redoubled Valor. You can't. But beyond that, like, it's just these rando combat tricks. We're really just playing Karma as a value unit. And so, beyond that, these Shen can play okay. I am kind of interested in having these 2 challengers, Yusari being a good elusive as well, just to try to get in with those Relentless Pursuit attacks like we did last time. I think I am kind of just interested in taking these Fiora cards. Our deck isn't like champion centric. Our deck is trying to abuse Relentless Pursuit, and it's trying to abuse standalones that we've never found. And if we're still just gonna, you know, take that as a theme, as we aren't really being a champion-centric deck, I think we do want to take this Fiora, because Fiora, Larnet Protege, and Solitary Monk are all cards that we're really looking to play standalone on, but we just haven't found any standalones. But I think we're okay taking Suit up here. We aren't really trying to do champion things. Okay. We're back. Successfully got food. Had to interact with humans to do it. Instacart wouldn't deliver for 4 days. Walmart's not doing curbside pickup until next week. Amazon Prime's not delivering in the next 2 days. Had to go interact with the humans. Well, let's see what we got here. This is pretty awkward. We're okay if we aren't doing anything until 3, but we need something to do on 3. So I'm just going to ship everything here. We can't just keep like Prismatic Barrier. If this was a standalone, which we don't have, you could consider just keeping standalone, but that might even be a little sketchy. It'd depend on your the composition of your deck.
No one's the wiser.
Okay, this is what I was kind of interested in as far as Mobilize goes. You know, we kind of have these hands. We're not going to play anything in the first 2 turns, and then we can just kind of mobilize and Greenglade Elder and make up for it. But I don't think against Noxus we can really do that. I could technically, what we can do here is I can just pass. We'll see if he plays a unit, right? Because then we're still in the same spot. We're not going to do anything if we mobilize this turn. Okay, so we're definitely just playing Highwayman.
We don't want any trouble.
But right, even if he just passed for whatever reason, perhaps, you know, if he wasn't in like a real aggressive Noxus deck, then we wouldn't have really missed anything. But since he did play the 1, then it leaves us in a reasonable spot here to just play the Highwayman. Here it's kinda similar. We're really just losing out on 1 spell mana to try to just I don't think I'm willing to go that far. But what are we going to spend this spell mana on anyways? Yeah, I don't really like waiting, I think. So what we're going to do this, we're going to have 4 mana. We can't really play a whole lot. We could just play Karma. Okay.
No refund.
Sure.
Out with the old.
Not what we're looking to be doing. Where did this come from? Oh, I just discarded it? Okay. Interesting. I think we just want to play the Blade Keeper. At least let us bank another mana. We don't have a lot to do with our banked mana, but we might get there eventually. The idea of playing Blade Keeper is it'll let us potentially value block with this Brigand. And so we can help combat his board with here.
The party has arrived. Raven, my favorite client. How you been?
Not particularly good, especially he's probably just going to open on us next turn. I would like something to just put in front of Draven, but I don't really have the option. Just discard. Oh, we discarded to this thing, this arena bookie.
Anything helps.
Should probably be hooking the Brigand. Ugh. This is not ideal. Oh, we're just dead? that's definitely not ideal. Okay. That hand was just a little too slow. We really need to be able to play 2 units on that last turn, and we just couldn't do it. Maybe we should have just played units instead of playing Mobilize. Maybe that was a little too greedy. Interesting. Well, here, I'm cool with getting rid of this Highwayman for Vanguard Sergeant. It was good there, but in general I think he's just pretty bad. Do we already... No, okay, we don't have any. Oh, the Sergeant isn't super important in this deck though. I'm definitely keeping the Awakener over the Blade Scout. I just don't want this unit. As to whether or not we want the Vanguard Sergeant, which is an upgrade over the Highwayman. But his purpose was, met that game. That's all our Highwayman's going to be doing, is just getting 2 blocks in. I think I'm going to take the Sergeant. Definitely don't want this. I'm okay with not doing this. This he really add. I still feel like there's a world where we might, like it is at least kind of different than what Relentless Pursuit is offering us. So I think I'm okay with that. We can't just be tunneled in on the idea that we're not going to Relentless Pursuit and Fort Demacia at the same time. Okay, same deal as last game. We need some cheap stuff. Really looking for a 3-drop here. Okay, that's a little better. This is what I kind of felt awkward about with like Mobilize and my problem with Greenglade Elder is that we're really just wanting to cheapen up everything, but when we're playing units on the first 2 turns, then it just weakens this because it's not getting full value. But I think this will be okay either way.
Check out these moves.
I was considering if I wanted to lead with the Mentor.
And punch.
This is just going to be like a better blocker next turn. There's a non-zero number of 3/2s that you could end up playing next turn that we'd try to throw the Sparring Student in front of. And we can wait on him to attack. We're not getting huge value out of this Inspiring Mentor here. Do we even want to play it? We can bank that 2 spell mana and just play it for free next turn. That's okay. Would
Silent as death.
see what he does. Trapper. Okay, so let's boost our Fiora.
You'll
He's
thank me later.
most likely to be coming down soon. This at least takes away his option to trade with our
Sweep the leg.
our mentor or sparring student. Okay. These are awkward. This is why I really just like playing one.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Let's wait on him to attack.
Show me a target.
I'm through waiting.
How much do we care about any of this? Not a whole lot. Because we're just going to be Fiora hooking Ashe next turn. We'll lead with Karma so we can start drawing spells, and then Fiora next turn. That's fine. I think we're okay with... Let's prevent this damage at least. If he has a Frostbite, that goes pretty wrong.
My sweet one.
I guess the other option we have is we could try to get a little bit of Relentless Pursuit value here. I don't like that. Instead, we could play Fiora and hook this thing, Relentless Pursuit, and hook Ashe afterwards. That seems like a big ask. That was a pretty good pickup with Karma.
Strength in grace, beauty in the blade.
Okay, so he's not going to hit us with Harsh Winds, but we still have to hit Ashe. There's an extremely high percentage chance that he is just going to Frostbite our Fiora.
Tread carefully.
Yep.
The time is right. Strike now.
We at least need her to survive while we can. Well, he's just... that's rough. He's just gonna hook kill her next turn. Another game we're in a pretty bad spot, but that seems to be in a better spot than just getting this Shadow Assassin online. Oh, and a riposte. Mana's just too awkward. So we're gonna... Well, we're going to take 4 and 3, we're going to take 7. If he double hooks them, we're going to take 9. I think we have to be okay with that. Okay, so he can't play cards anymore, but we still just have to riposte. Does this kill us? 17, will leave us at 1. It's pretty sketchy. Well, we're just going to have to accept trades can happen here.
The dark beckons. Avarosans, stand together.
See, he's going to... We're okay with just taking 12.
You cannot escape.
Should we have done Fiora? No, I don't think so. We don't need Fiora anymore because Ashe is dealt with.
Just like this. Protect our slow.
Okay. So not a whole lot we can do here except get units on board. Let's go ahead and play for Demacia first. We really need him to not open attack next turn, so we can try to at least come back a little bit with Mina.
The halls are bound with blades in hand.
All the Dawn and Dusks. Okay, that's what we needed. Does this... Oh, that's just the one cost one, that's not the one that gets cheaper. Okay, so we can hook... Hearthguard, Wild Claw. It sucks that we're going to be sending back value units, but we don't have a lot of choice in the matter. So definitely sending back Wild Claw. I'm going to send back Hearthguard. If we send back Ramfang Wolf, then we can protect our Karma. Then we just have to block this. Does this have Overwhelm? No. Okay, so we just have to block this. I think that's okay. So here, here, here.
You'll want to give me some space. Promise. I've got 3 warnings for you.
So now this is his only good attack if he wants to make any. Okay. Oh, that'd be so dope if we were enlightened. If we can get to be enlightened, I don't know if we can make it to our next turn. But we can for Demacia, Relentless Pursuit, and Single Combat. Is that what we want to do? I don't think we want to make 5/5s. We don't care about getting more for Demacias. Can't do anything with you. Yeah.
Stand strong.
Ugh. Alright. So it's not nearly as juicy, but we might be able to pull this off since our karma's gonna flip.
Glory unrelenting.
Okay. This board's considerably less scary now. He can still play Hearthguard.
We fight for one Freljord.
We're gonna have to see this Wild Claw come down. But I think that's okay. Hell yeah, we got this mobilized with no units in our hand.
My spirit is an unquenchable fire.
Without a
Okay.
sound.
How do we want to approach this? We need to go ahead and take down the Z. Is this a burst? Yeah. Oh, this is going to play twice? That's not going to work how we want. Let's just go ahead and Dawn and Dusk. This is going to completely fill up our board. It's going to give us 2 Demacias. Or 2/4 Demacias. Or it's going to give us 3/4 Demacias, actually. And then we can just block whatever he does. And that leaves us in the spot next turn to where we can 4 Demacia and Relentless Pursuits and all that stuff. All that jazz.
These are dangerous lands.
I don't think he can kill us with that. I think I'm okay with just go ahead and getting it off the board. I want to bank this full 3 spell mana, so the Single Combat would be the last card we play, but we still do have all these good units to block with. Or would you? Yeah, I don't think I want to. Don't think we can let this thing sit around.
Seize control. Today we fight as one.
Sure. Okay. So let's just make all the monsters. Okay, so now we're going to play 100 for Demacius. Let's see if he has a way around this. He's already played the one Winter's Breath, so that makes me feel a lot better about it. Check out how big my units are, yo. Alright, let's see if he's got that Winter's Breath.
A chill in the air.
We will not stand by.
I mean, Harsh Winds will save him, but we're still gonna kill a bunch of shit. Oh, is that a problem? I still had to attack with Karma.
Stand and defend.
To the next line. Ionia.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's a big draw.
No suffering. So we
I'm gonna do it like this. We can still detain this guy or something if we need to. Oh, the ash is flipped. Okay.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Okay. So how do we have to do this? If we think we have to hit Ash, right? Because she could make something not block. That would be this. That's extremely important to have this be able to block. I don't really want to riposte something to just make it able to block. And then how's this going to go? We gotta put... So we put 5 in front of him. We're going to take 3. We can put these 2 in front of Zed. We're just looking to take 6. Okay. Right. Oh, we can hook something up on this side. That could be a problem. Yeah, we're dead, because I'm gonna lifesteal too late, and he's gonna hook my lifesteal. Oh shit, that's it? Oh shit. Okay, okay.
I will learn from you.
You just fucked that up.
My wisdom is
So now we want to open on him, right? With these two? So he has to block something. We have these riposts and Relentless Pursuits.
strength and conviction.
Right, so we want to hit with these.
Predator prey.
Here we're going to riposte. Now we're just super far out of lethal and just don't need to die. As long as we don't die, we're okay from this point forward.
My wisdom is now my strength.
Don't really want to play this for no value. I think we can go ahead and mobilize and bank that 3 spell mana. We can try to kill him on his turn. Right, if things go completely wrong here, we still have infinite life now from this Awakener.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
I'm gonna put this on. Let's put it on here.
Strength in place.
Spread it out. We're gonna afford Demacia here. It should kill his whole team. Okay. That seemed awful. You just wanted to draw a card. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. Don't care about this. We're just going to gain infinite life next turn. I think I do want to riposte here and protect our unit, and then we're just pretty happy with the plan of for Demacia and Relentless Pursuiting twice.
My wisdom.
He's going to have some serious problems with that. Like, this is going to get frostbited, which sucks. But he's going to have to like instantly block our monster units, and I think that should be enough.
There's a scent in the air.
Sure.
Gotcha.
The frost reveals all to me.
Look out! Cold isn't the only danger.
We should have Relentless Pursuited right there. I don't think it'll matter, but we should have done it. It's just auto-passing his turn. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for us. Okay. Whew. That was a close one, boys. That was a pretty fun game. So let's see. Definitely don't want Shadow Shift. Would be okay. Ooh, definitely, this is quick too. I don't want to trade Detain. I would be okay with trading the Protector for this Mobilize. These have just been fairly awkward, and I'm not real stoked about having them. But we can do some stuff with the Protector, even if it's just playing him on 2 to have a good blocker. I think that's okay. Okay. Yeah, see, the kind of thing with Mobilize is, right, if you need, 3 units in your hand to break even on the mana spent, and so then you're down a card to break even, and it's hard to have more than 3. I know that's not exactly how it works. Here, we'll keep Shadow Assassin. These others can go. That's not exactly how it works, right? Because it lets you kind of cheat on future turns, but it feels just a little bit too expensive to be useful. Elise Draven. He's main spiders, that's an awkward start. I would assume he has to have a 2 here, and he's making some kind of decision about what not Elise unit he wants to play.
I have the best job.
Okay, so not a lot of choices here.
Death.
Let's boogie.
Can't block any of this. That's okay, we're trying to kind of build up to this Yusari plus Shen. If we'll get there, who knows? Here, I want to make this Shadow Assassin good. He'll be a reasonable blocker from this point forward. Something that we can just put in front of Zed and Prismatic Barrier. Sure. Yeah, sure.
It is a great day for a reckoning.
Let's say he'll do it. It's unfortunate we can't get a spinning axe out of this, but I'd assume he's attacking with Draven and the Battlecaster.
I pull the strings.
Please. So who do we want to play here? Like Shen is kind of awkward. I think we just need to play Yusari. You can still block things like Elise, like it shuts this attack here down. Still leaves us in a spot to where we can Yusari Shen next turn and just get so much value out of him.
God axes need victims. The
Okay. I'm
You cannot
okay
escape.
with this. We want to do something like this. We don't want our Yusari to die. We want to use him next turn. So now even if he flips his Draven, it's still going to die. Noxus doesn't have any combat tricks that makes him win this. We might lose something down here, but his Draven's going away.
Time for the moneymakers.
What did he discard? Oh, just the other spinning axe. Okay.
Draven out. Someone get him up!
Alright, so we need to gain the life with this life blade.
Now you've gone and upset it.
It's getting awkward. All these fearsomes, the only way I can get more blockers on board is either Karma or Blade Keepering up this other Blade Keeper, which will then just be a trade. I think we still just want to get the Life Blade on board. It can block an Elise Spider, and we'll gain the 2 life off of it here. Can potentially do something with a single combat if we need to.
I cannot be sated.
So the thing we'll be looking for here is this is 10-13. Yeah, we're gonna try to not die and have both of our elusives survive next turn. If we can pull that off, be pretty stoked. He's just gonna open on us, but he might be okay. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to block here with our 4-4, block here with our 2-2. He's going to spinning axe his Spiderling, and then we're going to single combat down the Spiderling. So if that's the idea, we're going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. We can't do it that way because we'll just die. No, because we'll single combat the Spiderling and we'll still gain the life. Right, so we do this. It says we should be... Oh, we're at 0? Deck. So you need to block here.
You cannot escape.
And let's see what he does. What does that say? What does that say? I'm at 3, and that says I'm at 0. This guy only has 1 more health. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's too
3,
late
6,
for you.
9. Oh, cause that. Oh shit! Fuck! I ran out of time. God damn it. Okay. Ugh. I figured out why that happened, but alright, whatever. Whatever. I should have just believed the Oracle's eye. We weren't out of that game. I think there's a very high percentage chance that we win that game. But it is what it is, I guess. Here. Okay, so I don't really want this mobilized, but I also don't really want 2 Relentless Pursuits, and we do kind of want Will of Ionia in our deck. Just a great piece of interaction. So I'm going to take this trade here. I think trading a turd for a turd is not as good as trading a good card we don't want multiples of for another great card. So I'm pretty happy to do this. Damn, that's too bad. I'm pretty sure we would have won that game. Well, not pretty sure. Like, it's above a 50% chance we would have won that game. I think it's probably closer to like 75 or 80. I think the only interaction he had was to play a spinning axe on something, and we beat spinning axe. And so That's too bad. Like, he could have spinning axed onto our 4/4, which would have made the game drag out a bit. Tried the spinning axe onto our life blade, then we would have just won. That's frustrating. I don't. Let's see. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. We're okay with just playing this on 3. He's not a Noxus deck, so we're probably okay. If this was like any Noxus, or if this was like Garen, we'd be less interested in just trying to keep this, but this should hold out just fine. Sure. Okay. And do we want to play Fiora or Protege? I was going to lead with Protege because I assumed that he was going to play a unit or something, but now that he hasn't done that, I think we can just play Fiora.
By my honor, you must die.
You can see the Nebastian border from here.
Okay.
I walk this space between worlds.
We're never going to win the game with just Fiora. Although if you're ever going to win a game with Fiora, this is the game to do it. But okay, that's fine. We aren't really well, not really at all. We aren't an OTK deck whatsoever. These attacks still don't look particularly enticing for him. I mean, we're definitely going to be doing Fiora things this game.
United, nothing can stop us.
Hit.
The finest blades for my lady.
I need
Just
only
imagine
one
he's never
to win.
attacking now. He could. I mean, he'd have Radiant Strike or Post, some Frostbite. You had some kind of trick. Is he really just? Would the reasoning to do this would just be so you can try to kill my Shen next turn? Okay, I'm on board with that. So now it gets interesting. Do we protect our Shen, or do we just make a monster Fiora? I think I just want to protect my Shen. I don't really want to go all in on one. I don't want to go like it's not all in on this, but I don't want to go really tall on Fiora against a deck with Frostbites and probably Detain. I think I'm okay with just playing Blade Master onto Shen. Then we're going to play Brightsteel Protector onto Shen. Then we're going to attack with Fiora Shen, and depending on what he plays, our other Blade Keepers. So far, that's fine.
Enforced equilibrium.
En garde!
En garde!
Let's see what he does. He can't block. He can't block well everywhere with this. If he blocks down here, we're just going to choose to not care. If he blocks Shen, then we'll barrier
My
him.
life for Avarosa.
Strike without worry.
Our land.
Okay, let's bank that mana. The two's perfect for single combat. Okay. So So what do we think he's going to do with this thing? The likely target would be to just hook Shen, and then if he hooks Shen, we can just Fiora blast this with single combat. Are we okay with that? I really want to be getting Karma online, so we at least get to draw some cards off of her ability.
Fear beyond!
I forgot about this. I should have protected Fiora and then single combated him down, but.
This will be quick. Everything I've worked for.
Balance guide your hand.
As it guides all things.
Sure.
An auspicious season!
So I think that's okay. I'm gonna get a whole lot of karma value. It's definitely not gonna turn out like last game. We can get some work done here. Ooh, what up, Mina? Do we just play her? That's so huge against his board. What's he do? Just replay Wild Claw? We can't play her anyways. It'll have to be next turn. So yeah, I think I'm still okay with this stuff. Let's get Protege online.
Uncle, it is good to see you.
We're gonna get him in a spot where he's not gonna be able to open attack, and we're just gonna blow him out with Mina. Pretty sure I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure with this guy, once we bounce it, it will reset its cost back to expensive land. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I've been wrong before. No, I want to be able to play Mina next turn, so I can't add a unit.
I sense an imbalance.
Hardly fair.
This is enough. I would assume he'll just take this. This is not particularly scary at this stage of the game.
Ready the torches!
Okay.
Light the signal fires! Back to our perch!
Not exactly standalone time, but if we're getting used out of standalone at this stage of the game, we've got some problems. Can't remember how these work. I think once this goes back, it costs more. Let's be greedy here. Not super worried about dying. Now he can still replay this. Oh shit! That gave me a wolf. Fuck. Okay. Okay, this is not panning out as intended. Sure. Kind of want to keep my hooks up because our Shen's active now. But I'm okay with, like, we can just block here and kill. Sure.
I'll stop you.
And then we can prevent 4 more damage, which I'm also okay with. We can do this and this. Be at 3. There's stuff that kills us at 3, but I think if we're going to win this game, we need to just accept we might die to back-to-back or something. Okay, that's fine.
To the next line.
My suit is
Okay, so we want to hit these.
free and lonesome as a summer breeze. Yeah!
Yeah, they cost 7 again. Perfect. Oh, let's kill his good units.
I sense an imbalance.
Aha! Look out for reavers! Alert the village!
Okay, now we're gonna open on him. Oh, that's just open killing. I was gonna say we're gonna open on him in Relentless Pursuit in combat.
Enforced equilibrium.
This riposte, we can give barrier to something and then Shen will boost it further. It says win an ally. I don't know if that means himself or not, so we'll just hit this one. Get more stuff. Fine. Okay. Ooh, that bugged. We're just in here trying to make cool fucking plays, and this guy's not letting us do it.
We both walk between worlds.
What a set of draw perfects, too. He drew Harsh Winds and Brittle Steel back to back. Ugh. So, what happens if we just try to Relentless Pursuit here? If he plays... Yeah, I think we want a Relentless Pursuit here. Because if he just attacks us, then we can make good things happen. And if he plays a blocker, then we'll get the opportunity to attack. This is fine. So he can either attack or play a unit. If he plays a unit, we'll get a trade with Shen, we'll get a value kill with this, and he'll probably try to trade into Minha. And that will leave us with, 4/4 plus this elusive. He goes for the attack play. So we need to do this and this.
Look skyward. The dark beckons.
Nice, nice. Okay. Pretty sure we're fine. Do this. We're gonna hook kill this. He's gonna. Can we just kill him? No, we're one short of just killing him. So we'll do this. Then we'll open kill him on our turn. Okay, boys. Good game.
I sense an imbalance.
Let's see. Interesting stuff. Shen did play extremely well that game, but I'm still not really wanting to build around Shen. We don't have the barrier cards to make me really want to do it. We have like 2 protectors, 1 barrier, 1 riposte. That's just not quite enough. I think I'm more interested in just having this Fiora as a good 3-drop. The bottom end of our curve is still garbage, and this one also has a Radiant Guardian in it, which is just great top end. Our top end is a little bit weak at the moment. So I'm cool with picking her up. I'm cool with just 1 Karma. These are pretty decent Karma cards, so I'm at least interested in the Jeweled Protector. Just sitting around and Zephyr Sage Mina all day. I think this is fine. I think I want the Fiora pack. Adding Riposte is good. It plays well with both our Fiora and our Shen. Radiant Guardian's the best top end we're going to get. We still have this Redoubled Valor that we haven't played yet. And so I think this is okay. We aren't having issues running out of cards, so we don't really need this Zephyr Sage, I don't think. Swiftwing Lancer will play well in our deck, though, just to have access to another challenger. I think Radiant Guardian will play that role a little bit better, though. Okay. That's a pretty reasonable start. What do we actually think about mobilizing this spot? The thing it does let us do here is on 3, instead of having the standalone that we typically do with Fiora, we could just Brightsteel Protector plus Fiora, and it's our attack token. It's Draven Garen. I don't feel like this is going to be ultra aggressive, so that's going to be a Scrap Heap Draven because he's also playing Piltover. Don't know what the Draven or the Garen will be. So it shouldn't be ultra aggressive here. Let's get rid of the Scout. Should have maybe kept it because I want a unit. Because we're just going to be playing Mobilize.
You won't get past me.
Okay.
What you looking for?
Okay, we have to play a unit.
You're covered.
Okay, ready.
No closer.
They got past me.
That's awkward. I mean, we could have just given him a spell. Maybe just giving him a spell would have been better.
They would fall by my blade.
Yeah, I don't like this whatsoever. I think I should have just given him a spell. Because now we would have the 3/2. We'd be able to hook this in and still have this threatening Fiora. I think we're just gonna be giving him a spell anyways. I guess it depends on if he plays a card or not.
Fix me up with a new grabber, will
Maybe
you?
missed.
I just
LOL.
made you one.
So we can do
The
this.
finest blades for my lady.
I need only one to win.
Then how all in do we plan on going on this Fiora? We can Redoubled Valor here as the the big choice. I think we're just gonna do it. Like the only card he should have be able to interact with this is either he can have Detain, which he's in some kind of awkward 3-color deck, so he may or may not have it, and then like things like Nox and Guillotine. We should just be thundering through with this Fiora here.
For the honor of trying.
And again, we aren't really planning on her her flipping and winning the game. There is a possibility that it happens since we have a fucking 10-10 Fiora, but that's not really what we suspect will happen here. I just think we're going to spend 2 cards here. We're going to spend this, I guess we call it 2.5 Fiora, this half of this thing, and a Redoubled Valor. We're going to get like 4 or 5 cards out of him.
A Demacian soldier is worth 10 foes.
I'm gonna Zephyr Sage my Mina. I think we're just gonna get so much value out of this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I didn't realize he had the 6 mana to do that.
We don't need
We're okay with taking 13 here. But I probably should have kept Will of Aonia back for this thing. And still been okay with taking 13. But that's okay. Okay, this is fine. We're fine with making trades here. We just need this game to stall out. I'd like to see his units be off the board. We should, you know, when it rolls back to our next attack token, be able to just start Minaing his full board every turn. And so I'm cool with making this trade here. If he wants to spend some kind of combat trick on him, most of them suck. It's going to have to be like a riposte or a back-to-back. Noxus and Piltover combat tricks don't prevent trades. Radiant Strike doesn't prevent a trade, so it's going to have to be a barrier card or a bad back-to-back. And then I think all we're going to try to do is play a Shadow Assassin. We're going to keep we're going to bank this 3 spell mana so we can try to Will of Aonia something if we need to next turn. And then we're just going to start rolling these Minas out. I mean, I guess I could realistically just mobilize here and then start playing Minas on his turn. I think I'm actually more okay with that. Okay. Let's see, he doesn't have a particularly threatening board. He does have a shitload of mana here to play something and make it look threatening. But this doesn't really feel like a board where we're going to be getting open attacked on next turn. So I think we should be getting pretty good Mina value here. He's just passing? Okay. I'm on board. He's just gonna do nothing. What kind of weird fucking hand does he have to where he just does nothing 2 turns in a row? Like, they aren't combat tricks, right? If he had combat tricks, he probably would have. Oh, okay, did he disconnect? Alright. Fucking weird. Yeah, I did mess that up with Fiora. I should have kept that Will of Aonia open and didn't. I guess he disconnected or something. Okay, so let's take a look here. I want to keep this Relentless Pursuit. I still want to keep the 1. I just don't want more than 1. I think I also want to keep the 1 Radiant Strike. I could be convinced to do this Emerald Awakener for the War Chefs, especially since we just picked up Radiant Guardian as another source of lifesteal to go along with the 2/2 elusive, wherever he went. Kinku Lifebleed. And so the War Chefs does actually play fairly well with what we're doing with these 3 drops. I tend to prefer to be having like 2/1 Challenger Bird, and then a little bit heavier concentration of 3s for the bonus between Fiora and Laurent Protege. I prefer to kind of have like 3 Fioras, 3 Proteges, but I think this will still play better than the Awakener. Okay. Well, let's get rid of all this. We need one of these good 3-drops to make any of these cards actually work. Whether it's Fiora or fake Fiora, something. And I'm gonna play this student. I don't think we need to sit around and try to bank this 3 for 3 since we don't actually have the unit yet. Maybe we should, because this is just gonna be a pretty low value sparring student.
Sweep the leg.
But
These old eyes
Sure.
still see far and clear.
that'll shut down his board. Okay. So what do we want to do here? I'm not actually willing to spend any of these spells on combat stuff. And so I think I'm just going to attack here. I'm going to play the Inspiring Mentor afterwards. But I don't want him to just play like a something that can actually trade with our sergeant. That. So who do we want to boost here? This is a tough decision on this 6 because I kind of want to boost Karma, but also kind of want to boost Radiant Guardian. These are both extremely good top ends. But I think we're going to end up just playing Karma. He should have a
Give me a sweet bug.
not the easiest time in the world interacting with her, and then I want to double up on Radiant Guardian. Because I don't want to be waiting until like turn 7 to play Karma. What do we think about killing this? Okay. Don't need it. I want to be able to turn on the Radiant Guardian. If you're not familiar with my recordings, I love turning on the Radiant Guardian. Okay, sure. And that just give us something to jump block with in the future. Don't want to sit around and just protect this Fiora or this Karma all day. But we do need to keep her on board a little bit. Let's see if he spends any mana here. I'm not attacking. These attacks just aren't particularly good. This is weird. I do want to bank 3 spell mana. Let's see what we can get done with Fiora here. I don't care to get her in combat and have her die.
I never hold back.
On down.
One and one. Not a real huge fan of what's happening here. Do we want to single combat this down? We're going to definitely get another card out of Karma, but I think he's going to have like a another Chempunk or another Electrostatic. So I want to do this. You're going to die to all that. Let's just go ahead and dumpster onto this thing. And then that'll keep our Fiora up. It's going to be at least one more turn before he can do anything to Karma. Pretty sure we're just gonna get kimpunked here. Oh gosh. Sometimes you just...
How y'all doing tonight?
Karma said she ain't ready to die. Okay, and I'll pass. We can get into combat with riposte, or if he just passed, we were okay with just banking that mana back. So what do we want to actually kill here? Like, are we okay with just losing Fiora? Like, we kind of agree we aren't just on some kind of Fiora play in this game. So I think we're okay with that.
I have no
Let's
time.
just go ahead and clear out this board.
Peace has its cost.
Your move.
I'm okay with taking this damage. Still want to keep the mentor back to be a way to try to turn this Radiant Guardian on should we need to.
Avenge me.
Okay, our Fiora should be pretty safe from this point forward. I'm thinking, I mean, I do want to probably just go ahead and Blade Keeper her.
The halls are bound.
Protect her from Mystic Shots.
I smell a fight.
Don't currently have a good answer to Tryndamere other than gaining a shitload of life with Radiant Guardian. What? This, God. Fucking Karma. Karma said this. She said, "Boys, I'm here to do work this game." Fucking A. That's fine. So we're gonna detain Tryndamere. We're gonna block this thing with a guy, and then we're gonna play a Radiant Guardian behind. We didn't get to copy her, which is unfortunate. We'll have to find something more useful to use the Zephyr Sage on.
Justice will be served.
Remembrance.
Peace begins within.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Because that's gonna double. I think we just want to go ahead and do it. It does suck, you know, if we hit a non-zero number of Radiant Guardians, but this is just going to make us have some incredibly powerful attacks here.
My blade grows
Tryndamere Part 2.
restless.
I don't think I'm quite ready for him to flip. We don't have a great way to deal with it next turn. I want to be dealing with him with 4 Demacia. I think we're okay to pass. He can attack with Tryndamere, we can get a good block on him.
Escapes my watch.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with banking this mana. There's a way to deal with it. At least for a moment. I still think we're okay with just dealing with this one though. Putting a block in front of it. And then we can have 4 Demacia back up next turn.
Follow my blade.
messed that up. I should have thought about that a little more, because I'm thinking to the point now as to where maybe we should just be on the elusive plan. But I don't think we're going to have enough board space to play Zephyr Sage, copy Shadow Assassin, and get all that down. We just don't have the room to do that kind of shit. We're going to copy something here. What do we want to copy? Do we want to just copy 4 Demacia so we can play it 2 turns in a row? I think that seems reasonable. Because I'm only going to want to play 1. I can hook Tryndamere and then take him down with a potion. And then our other blocks for him are just miserable. This seems okay. I don't know which one's visible to our opponent. I think it's this one. Or no, he doesn't get to see these. Okay. I don't understand that.
Pillage and burn!
I think we can just attack with everything here. He doesn't have enough mana to do a lot of scary shit. And if he does do scary shit, then we have the Will of Ionia and the Detain. So I'm going to get in with everybody. I'm going to hook Tryndamere. I'm going to boost our... No, we don't even want to do that. We can probably just... We're threatening +6 with this. I'm not super familiar with playing Karma, is my problem here. 8. Oh, that's a health potion. Okay, okay, okay. Hang on. I'm glad I figured that out at this point. I thought that was a elixir of wrath. Okay. Cause I was like, let's do. I was like, wait a minute, this can deal 6 damage. I was like, wait a minute, this can heal 0 damage.
Stand by.
Okay, with that. Or do we want to do this in case he has a +3? No, I want to take care of this thing first while my guys are all boosted.
Look out for Reavers!
Harsh Winds? Frost Flash Freeze, sure. Okay.
Alert the village!
Okay. At any rate, we're still in a pretty commanding position here.
They're out there.
Sure.
I'll spot
Break the strong! Slaughter the weak!
Doesn't even matter. Let's. Pretty sure this doesn't matter, but maybe should have just kept this. But I think this open's gonna kill him. And we're gonna hook this. If he frostbite our 7 and our 6, he's still taking 11. Sure. So he needs a second Harsh Winds here. Oh, we got his Tryndamere back. Sure.
Silent as death.
My blade calls!
The body must thrive for the mind to be free.
We need to block this. He doesn't have any mana. Okay.
Ours is the will of Ionia.
You will be scoured from this land!
Hardly fair.
Second harsh winds would be a bit of a problem here, but we can make our own Tryndamere if it comes down to it.
Light the signal fires.
Okay.
I lost.
Karma put in some serious work this game. Every time she's like, I know exactly what you need. Here it comes. Okay. I'm not particularly interested in Silverwing Scout. We don't really have an elusive deck together, as we kind of half envisioned when we first started putting this deck together with the kind of the Relentless Pursuit theme and having these elusives and shit. That didn't quite come together. So I'm okay with getting rid of this and just picking up another fake Fiora. This might actually be a better trade though. The Sparring Student just doesn't do anything in our deck, where the Silverwing Scout at least does a little bit. We already have 2 or 3 Proteges. What do we have? 2 Protege, 2 Fiora? Yeah. I think I'll actually pick up this Yusari. Heckin' dog with the Braum. It's weird it's in Piltover. So this is a fluffed and tough Braum. I think that has to be fluffed and tuft, right? Ash is Freylord only. There aren't any other Braum pairs. I guess it still just shows you cards at the beginning of the game. So it could be like a suit up Braum. But at any rate, what do we want to do here? I think we can just get rid of Shadow Assassin. We're gonna be looking to just play the Solitary Monk on 3. So kind of okay with keeping the Elder. Depending on how aggressive this guy is, we could maybe just be ultra greedy with this. I think I'm kind of okay with that. Like if he was say like like Articuno Tryndamere or something, like something really threatening late game, I think we would want to start with the bunk. But I think I'm cool with just going full greed mode here.
Let us get going. We go where the War Mother bids.
Alone, we see things as they truly are.
This is our home.
Okay.
As fate wills.
You want to spin spells? I'm okay with it.
Our land.
He's gonna have a Abrosian Marksman. That's okay. Let's see if we can't go in here and just annihilate his Braum. I mean, we may. That is tempting to just ignore Braum and just go face. It's not doing anything. This is my problem with Braum. He just doesn't do anything. He really needs 1 point of power to actually be relevant. I'm just going to a space place this game.
Tread lightly, strike hard.
Like if we're getting him to start spending his frostbites on our units to just attack face, and them being nothing more than healing salves as opposed to things enabling good combats, I think that just puts us so far ahead. Oh man, not against the Von Yip guy. But I'm okay with this karma. We can repost our solitary monk if we need to.
Don't be sad, my friend.
I just don't care about.
Smallest of creatures and biggest of hearts. Avarosians, stand together.
Okay, so
Have you met my shield?
how ultra greedy do we want to get? What I'm thinking here is what we run into on our next turn is we can open repost this, and that turns off his brittle steels. But if he has harsh winds, then we just waste a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm not real keen on that being a necessary play. So I think I do want to spend my spells here, though. We're definitely got a Radiant Strike here. And I think I want to repost this guy down. You're the less valuable unit. Oh, I can't Radiant Strike. That's okay. That's okay. Our Brahm's not, or our Karma's not in real danger here.
Eat and grow strong.
Not sure. I mean, maybe I should have played for Brittle Steel here, but I mean, they just have harsh winds here so many times. Do we want to get out in front of any of his units here? Probably not.
Fear the dark.
Oh man, it was the Brittle Steel. Ugh. I was gonna next level that so hard. Get my repost on this. It's okay. We're not ultimately in a whole lot of danger of
Nothing can stop us.
getting dealt with in combat here. Ooh, and that missed. I wish this did something more than an animation, but I don't think I caught it. Alright, so what I'm thinking here is I want a single combat down as Brahm, I think. Next turn we're going to want to either detain this or something. Then we're just looking at 8 damage really. It's not ultra scary. We'll have a way to interact if we want to. Otherwise, it's single combat.
Stay safe, my friend.
Balance guide your hand.
As it guides all things.
I think we're okay with this. I wanted to play Shen just as reasonable blocker here. We have to answer that. We still have 9 mana, we can just keep passing. That's fine. Sorry man, I got the spells.
All right, fill the valley.
So let's go ahead and do this. Do this.
A taste of my skin.
Oh, Karma can't block it.
This one will do.
I want to Will of Ionia. Let's detain this. I'm not sure what happens if you Will of Ionia this, if it flips back into the thing, or if it's still just a monster dude like that. I wanted to detain it in case it was just the monster dude with elusive. Okay. Getting there just in time for the final battle. Let's see, not trading away detain. Don't want this. Definitely cool with trading out Mobilize for Will of Ionia. Mobilize is just, I'm done with Mobilize. Here. This is close. We just have the one Jeweled Protector, right? So I'm okay with trading out the Mentor for the Protector. We can't really do a lot with him. And we're getting close to just being that, you know, don't play anything until turn 3 deck, which Inspiring Mentor kind of gets in the way of. Okay. I'm not super interested in these. At a vacuum, the Laurent Protege is a lot better than Greenglade Elder, but I kind of like having the options. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like the, you know, like the 41 card deck conundrum in Magic, as to where, you know, from like a theoretical standpoint, you should be playing 40 cards 100% of the time, and you should be able to pick, you know, the exact best 40 cards for that deck. But there's, you know, just sometimes that one more card that you want to get in there and don't really want to cut anything for. It's kind of the same way here, as to where I want. I'm kind of happy with, you know, two. What are these units called? 2 Greenglade Elders, 2 Laurent Proteges, but there should definitely be one of them that, you know, is better. We should likely be 3 and 1 on some of these. But I think I'm going to stay where I'm at with the 2 and 2. I want to keep the 1 Radiant Strike. I love just having that one mana combat trick. And we have 2 Will of Aonias now, which is okay. I'm going to hang on to this Protector because we are doing a lot of challenging. Not interested in this. I do talk a lot about not liking 3 champion decks, but I'm okay with the 1 Karma. We definitely aren't a Fiora deck. This is just Fiora in a deck that does things well. I want to keep the Lifeblade, even though we haven't gotten much out of him. Now I want to keep my 1 Pursuit, so we'll skip that one. Definitely keeping you. I think that's okay to keep you. We already have 2 of these, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so we're good. We're ready to 7-win this bitch. See if Karma just puts in a little bit more work. Karma has put in work this run. I need to give her a little bit more respect. But to me, she's one of those cards, kind of like Darius, to where you don't really want 3. People play 3 in Constructed frequently, but I think that's different. And that the decks are just much more removal oriented than they are in Expedition. We'll just keep these 3s. Okay, I'm not planning on playing any of these 2s. This shouldn't be like an ultra aggressive pairing, but we'll see. Maybe he just missed his 1-drops. I think we do want to get in and trade with this. I think we'll do it with the chefs.
Flavor and spice. Move out. A delicious challenge.
Right. The idea here being, we don't have anything to actively use the chefs now, but we probably have a challenger later to where we can get something out of this Brightsteel Protector. I think we want to just boost our team. We're definitely not the aggro here, and I don't think we really need to rush out this Solitary Monk.
I still have some fire.
Let's see if he opens.
Carve a path.
Second Trifarian. I'm kind of interested in just playing Brightsteel Protector, and then that's going to get me banked up to 3 spell mana, and then we can do things like Usari, Hook, and Prismatic Barrier. I think I like this.
You're covered.
The attack does not look good from his standpoint anymore.
Charge!
No closer!
Ah!
Okay.
Ionia speaks through me.
It shall rain ash in our wake. Nothing can stop me.
Okay, so we have to get on board with something here. I'd like to be able to deal with this, which we can do with Yasari. We can block something else with this and just eat a 5. I think I'm okay with that. You're a 5/5 though, aren't you? Yeah, we can Zephyr Sage Yasari. That feels a little bit better. Would we rather Zephyr Sage a Prismatic Barrier? I don't think so.
The Craven will fall.
Feels like we might have just turned the corner. Let's see. Could have perhaps blocked here and Prismatic Barriered, but it feels like there's about to be a Whirling Death involved. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Protege, interesting. Because we can Protege and Blade Keeper and hook this and keep our unit behind. I think I like this.
Break their spirits and their swords.
Our health total's not really at risk, and we should be able to grind him out. The only thing that has me really worried this game is Jinx. We shouldn't have much trouble keeping our health over 10 to stop a lot of Darius shenanigans. The only thing that worries me is getting a lot of value out of Jinx. And we do already have a single combat. So I think we should be okay.
Fuse is lit! The rounds are bound with blades in hand. Drink up! Run them through! Aha!
If he has a trick here, that sucks, but I think we're okay with that. Since we can also shadow shift our karma at some point if we need to.
Ride on!
He's a little scary. What if we think about burning our reinforcements here? I'm not real excited about that, because I think we're going to want to single combat this Basilisk Rider. We can just block his weakest unit. We'll probably block his Grenadier with this and then single combat down his Basilisk Rider. We'll put this in front of this, put Karma here and Chain Vest. Or we can put Karma here and Shadow Shift and then just replay her. So I definitely want to be single combating. Okay.
Refreshment from across Runeterra.
Do we just have to reinforcements now? We'll just take 2 from this, which isn't too bad. I think I'm okay with this. We can't put Karma in combat at that point though. Ugh. Okay. We might need to keep this single combat for Darius. We don't have any way to gain life. We could technically just Yasari this thing down on our turn.
Viking!
This will not take long.
No, please. Face me!
Okay.
Run while you can. Younger than I thought. Oh.
Let's look as far as just killing him this turn. Ooh, because we don't have to do it with... What if we do this? Or,
Save your world.
play Fiora.
We speak with blades.
I assume he's going to play some kind of unit behind, but we do have access to both Relentless Pursuit and Chain Vest to protect the
They
screen.
will bleed for Noxus.
That makes shit awkward.
Mine is the hand of Noxus.
Let them eat so. Try me.
Taste my skill!
Can still get in with these. Let's see if he makes a block. Okay. So I mean, I can't double single combat onto Darius. We can Relentless Pursuit, hook, and then single combat him next turn. Which is what I think we have to do. Because we can't currently eat a Darius. We can technically eat a Darius hit because we have Chain Vest. Oh shit, did we just kill him?
On down. Do not question our resolve.
Nice.
Everything I've worked.
Good game, boys. Okay. Nice little 7 winner. But yeah, that came together pretty well. It wasn't quite exactly how we planned on it to go. We were looking to be more of a we're kind of looking at the themes. If you're familiar with Constructed, I assume it's still somewhat popular. But there's decks where they're Relentless Pursuit decks to where they're really just setting on trying to stand alone a solitary monk and then getting a hit in, and then the next turn on their next attack token attacking and then Relentless Pursuiting and killing you. Like it's 21 damage. And we're trying to get something, kind of similar together here. We're trying to assemble either, plan A is a good group of 3-cost units, whether or not it's Solitary Monk or Fiora or Mini Fiora, the 2/4 Challenger, and then trying to access standalones for that. And then we had, Shen as kind of the Blade Keepers as kind of backup plans for turn 4. And then those all lead to good Relentless Pursuits. And then kind of plan B was to have a bunch of elusives, and then get in some elusive wins. But it didn't come together exactly like that. We didn't really find any standalones. Well, we didn't really find any. We found 0 standalones. I don't think we saw any the whole run. But it still came together pretty well as a nice little value-oriented challenger stack. But yeah, all in all, pretty good run. Nice little 7 winner. Started out rocky, and then we just carried it through at the end. But we got there. We'll try to get together a cute one next one, since we'll be free rolling that one. But yeah, all in all, good stuff. That's it for today. This is Free to Play Bust. I hope you enjoyed the run, and thank you for watching.